Hello students, welcome to my channel Linguasphere. Today we are going to learn the poem on killing a tree by Gieve Patel. In today's video I have brought for you a small description, a brief description about the poem on killing a tree, poetic devices and a few competency based questions. Now let's begin. First stanza, it takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. Here children, when we see the first stanza, it appears to us as if the tone of the poet is instructional. It appears as if he is giving us instructions to kill a tree. But here he also says that it's not easy to kill a tree. Now let's see the next stanza. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. And so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So here children, it's a satire on greedy people, those who mercilessly cut down trees for their selfish reasons. So here he explains that, so hack and chop, if you just attack on a tree, if you chop the part of a tree with a knife or any other tool, it won't kill it. It would only hurt. It would cause pain to the tree. The bleeding bark will heal. So over a period of time, the bleeding bark will heal means again it would sprout into a new leaves. Again you would see that it has expanded into its original former size. Third stanza, no, the root has to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped tight and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely, out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. So here what the poet says that, no, you cannot kill a tree just by hacking or chopping. You have to, he's giving you some instructions that you have to tie a rope around the trunk of a tree. Then you have to pull it hard. Forcefully you can uproot the tree. Because the strength of the tree lies in its roots. So once the roots are exposed, then you can easily kill a tree. Because the source, white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. Because it takes long time. Over a period of time, it takes air, water, sunlight and other nutrients from the earth, and then it grows into a huge tree. Last stanza, then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So once the roots are exposed to the environment, then it turns into brown in color, it becomes hard, trunk twists, then it withers, and then it is done. Then we become successful in killing a tree. What message do we get from this poem? Now let's understand. A tree's beauty lies in its branches, but its strength lies in its roots. What do we learn from that? Here the poet has tried to create parallels between trees and humanity. So here he says that the most important thing in life is to remember the essence of your existence and stay grounded. So we learn so many things from nature. This is one of the things we have learned from nature, that roots are the most important part of a tree, where they act as the anchor needed to keep a plant in place. More importantly, roots are the life of a plant, taking up air, water and nutrients from the soil and moving them up into the leaves. Similarly, in humans also, if you are aware of your roots, your values, and the principles of your life, then nobody can make you feel small. Whether you are pursuing your dreams or your life has taken a new direction, but you should always remember that roots and bonds which gave you the strength to be the person you are today. Now let's move on to the poetic devices. First, alliteration. The repetition of a consonant sound at the start of two or more consecutive words is called alliteration. Here we have an example. The bleeding bark will heal. Here the poet has repeated B and I sounds. The source white and wet. White and wet. Two consecutive words. And here W sound is repeated. Next poetic device, metaphor. The metaphor is a comparison of two dissimilar objects, but the comparison words like and as are not employed. Rather than declaring that one thing is similar to another, the poet links the two. For an example, the bleeding bark. The word bleeding is used as a metaphor here. The poet compares the sap seeping from a chopped tree trunks bark to the blood of a human without using the word compare, like or as. Leprous height, another example we have here is of metaphor. The uneven, discolored bark of a tree is likened to the discolored and gnarled skin of a leprosy patient in this illustration. However, the poet does not use the words like or as. The next poetic device we have is enjambment. When a sentence continues on two or more lines without a comma or a full stop in between. For an example, here a single sentence made up of 6 lines. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So here the complete sense can be understood only after reading all the 6 lines. Next we have repetition. Repetition is the act of repeating words, phrases, lines or stanzas in a poem. Repetition is used to emphasize a sentiment or idea which also establishing a rhythm. Here we have an example, pulled out. This term is being used many times to show how tough the roots are and how we must completely uproot the tree by pulling it out. You have to pull it out forcefully. You have to use full force to uproot the tree. The next is personification. Throughout the poem, the poet presents the tree as a human creature that feels pain and also shows death and growth. So he has given all human qualities to the tree. Now next we have competency based questions. Now let's move on to the first question, question number 1. The word no has been used in a different tone at the start of the third verse. Give your opinion. Here your answer may vary, children. Here you can give your opinion, but here I have given one answer. You can understand how to write in 40 to 50 words. Answer. The word no at the start of the third verse emphasizes upon the techniques of killing a tree, though sarcastically. By saying no, the poet underlines that cutting the tree will not kill it. It will only injure it, causing it to bleed and experience agony. It will eventually heal and begin to grow again. To kill a tree, it must be uprooted from the ground. Question number 2. The most sensitive section of the tree is thought to be the roots. Do you agree or disagree? Elucidate. Yes, we all agree with this. The shoot, bark, branches, blooms and fruits of the tree as a whole are all exposed to the surroundings. Only the roots of a tree that are not exposed to the elements are considered sensitive to the heat and the seasons. The root is safe till it reaches the depths of the earth and is not exposed. Yes, I believe that a tree's roots are the most vulnerable component, as without these a tree can't survive. Now we have long answer type questions. Question number 1. Here you have to write the answer in 100 to 120 words. Question number 1. Although it is not acceptable to kill trees, the poet is instructing people on how to do so in numerous ways. Do you believe it is reasonable? The poem is about the destruction of trees. The poet also suggests several approaches. It is not warranted. But the poet is using it in this poem ironically and sarcastically to educate people about their errors. The poet wishes to evoke feelings of pity and admiration for trees by making use of strong imagery. He hopes that by doing so, people will be cured of the evil of chopping down trees. He wants to emphasize that having strong willpower will aid in not cutting down trees for selfish reasons. He wants people to understand that trees, like humans, feel pain, get hurt, and also bleed. This is a way to make people sympathize with trees and not cut them. Thank you.